Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're coming around the corner to the end of this event. We got a few more hours before the gala, so get your rhinestone gowns ready. And we're going to begin this session with a special ceremony of creating a bond, a relationship with actually two well-known organizations that have been around for a long time working in this field around healing knowledge and a Canadian response to HIV and AIDS and also other sexually transmitted and bloodborne infections. And with the CAN is, the idea came about in 1991, Vancouver. CAN was formalized in Winnipeg. Can we get the door, please? Yeah, come in. Astam Nichimus. And really it was the beginning, of understanding what HIV was and that trajectory and how it affected the immune system. And then the response, right? The research, the science around testing, treatment, particularly around life-saving drugs, which eventually became a regimen of antiretroviral drugs in the late 1980s, right? To get my time scheme right. And so I know CAN formalized in 1994 here in Winnipeg at a hotel like this. And in those days, culture was important as well. And Dr. Myra Laramie and her mother, who were traditional people in this territory, were working with us in HIV and teaching us about the ceremony and healing. And at conferences like this, we would do the regular schedule. And then in the evening, we would have a sharing circle after supper. And Myra would come in and we would take all the tables out in this room and we would have a sharing circle. And again, the sharing circle is about speaking your truth, right? And it's not crosstalk. We let the energy move through that circle. And so by 11 o'clock, we were done. And we would do it the next day, right? So in those early years, sharing circles were very important to this work. And also ceremony. So that year, Myra organized a sweat lodge not far from Winnipeg, and we went out. And that was actually my first sweat lodge. It was November, it was minus 27. And we drove out to the site, and one of our elders was Naz Terrio from Ontario. And he's a traditional elder, Ojibwe elder, and he was involved in the early days. And so we were in that lodge, we went through the ceremony. And it was my first experience in the sweat lodge, so I really didn't know what was happening. But when I was standing outside that truck, when you have just your shorts on, and it's minus 27, you have to make a decision of where you're gonna go, right? So I went in the lodge, and we were in there, went through the ceremony. And there was a young man in there, about 17, non-Indigenous man. And when he prayed in that lodge, it was the first time I ever heard a prayer that was so authentic and innocent and truthful from a youth in that lodge. The first time, the sincerity, the clarity of what he was asking for in that darkness. In ceremony. And I too learned to pray that night. And my first prayer was, can someone open the door? Because it's really hot in here. That's my prayer. That's when I learned what prayer was, right? When it's something you really need. And that's how I learned how to pray, or what prayer was. And so that is how we began, you know, quite a while ago. And I know with the founding of CATIE back in the day, I was around, and I checked your website in 1990, right? 32 years ago, that we began to have that knowledge, the medical, the scientific knowledge, the social knowledge around dealing with the virus. And in the early days, we actually had community consultations across Canada. And in 1994, CATIE came here, and I took a man, Roland Bartholet, and he came to work with us. He was HIV positive. He was a really tough man for the North End, lots of tattoos, lots of muscle, and homophobic, until he began to work with us, and many of us were two-spirit in understanding what was happening to his body through HIV, and he was one of our speakers. And when he talked about the damage to his nerve system through the virus, he said, you know, it's like a car and those wires get eroded. So he was doing man talk version of HIV 101, right? And there's actually a videotape of Roland speaking that no one's really seen, just like the show this morning. No one's really seen his story. But you know, it's retrievable, and we will share it. So today is honoring Roland, who came with me to the Radisson Hotel to one of CATIE's consultations about the vision of what CATIE would be. And that first bit of knowledge was actually from people living with AIDS. Not just HIV positive, but people living with AIDS in those days. So I want to dedicate this to Roland and the crew here. So we're going to invite, before we begin, Gail is going to come and do that invocation to those spirits, the unseen, that are in this room with us right now. And Sharp is going to sing us a song. Yeah. Yeah. That's Miss Prince. Harriet Prince, a star from BC, a BC Manitoba star, right here. So Gail's been around forever. It's true, it's true. 1986, she was the Manitoba Princess of the Two-Spirit Society of Manitoba, 1986. And her... We just got her out of the home. Just kidding. No, her name was Little Buffalo. So this bison hide is so appropriate. Her name was Little Buffalo, right? Remember that? Yeah. So I asked Gail, I said, can you do an invocation for us for this ceremony to have the spirits witness this relationship between Ken and CATIE that's been for so long, right? And I told Lori after this is done, they will be legally married. So, and Margaret has the tickets to Cancun, right? The tickets to Cancun. And so it is this, you as witnesses to this, that this honoring and relationship of not just the past, but the future, right? Because CATIE will go into the future, Canada's going into the future. And for us to witness, but also to bless them in that journey forward, right? That your energy, your spirit, your good intentions will carry them forward into that future. So we're going to start with Auntie Gail. And I said, Gail, please do an Ojibwe prayer or invocation and make sure it's really long.
Well, my name is Gail Pruden, and I am from Treaty 2, and I do reside in Treaty 1. And yeah, I was Princess in 1986, and also Miss Geo's. That was for Manitoba. So I've been around that long. I even took that international two-spirited, what was it? Yeah, two-spirited. It was in 2012. And I was telling them, I'm getting a bit too old to be getting more of these tears. Leave it to the young ones, please. So, so I'm normally, when I pray from the heart, and it's easier for me to pray from the heart in my language, which is Ojibwe. I was raised by my grandmother, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather. My parents did come around, but weren't allowed to stay because of alcohol when they were told not to come to the house when they were drunk. I remember my grandmother hitting them, and we didn't know why, but that was the reason why, because we were protected from alcohol and drugs. So for me and my siblings, it's not a big, drugs and alcohol were never a big thing. But still, when I left the reserve, of course, I got into alcohol, drugs, shooting up everything that I came across. And meanwhile, in the back of my head, I always knew I felt guilty, betraying the way that I was raised, my grandmother. So when I turned about 30, that's when it finally hit me. Why am I doing this to my body? I wasn't raised this way. So without any resources or anything that's so available today, we had nothing. I just did it from my heart. That's enough. No more alcohol, no more drugs, and I did it. So I've been sober now. Well, I'm not keeping count of how long I've been sober because I'm doing it for myself. So from 30, you can do the addition, but I'm not going to tell you how old I am. So and it's not easy to walk this red road. It isn't. Even though being raised the way I was from my grandmother, she never explained anything that she did. We just followed, we watched, and we learned. No titles, nothing. But I really miss them, even though I know they still walk with me. And without them, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So my heart goes out to all these lost people, our people, because on Mother Earth, we're all equal. We're all put here for a reason. We all carry gifts. And a lot of them don't find that gift, but they're still people. So for myself, being raised by my grandmother without allowing anybody to carry that prejudice towards me, I don't give prejudice to anybody. So the reason why I feel so sorry for these lost people is because they don't have these items that we all carry, that Creator has given us. These are powerful items that we use. Because for myself, sometimes I do tremble a little bit on the red road, and then that's when I lay with my pipe, or I'll grab my drum, and I pray for that to go away, and it always helps. So I'd also like to thank Can for being here for this many years. When I first started coming around Can, I was always trying to hide in a corner, don't talk to me, don't say my name. And I grew. Without them, I don't think I'd be able to be speaking here the way I am now in front of a crowd. So I'd like to say thank you to Can for allowing me to be who I am and accepting me as being a trans person and allowing them to be part of the family. So me wedge. So with that, I'll do an opening prayer. And usually I always say that because I pray from the heart, I try and interpret in English for the ones who don't understand, but I feel like I'm being an Indian giver, taking my prayer back and interpreting. But I know Creator is forgiving to all of us. Kanimit makunti gumaktemotututem. Migoch ningisamanito no minogagi minup matsang magagi mikamang. Midasinga which minguma pangi ganin chagi to and chagi to tamo going no mam kawi just chigewat. Miasa ponemano gito, Kimisumisanana, Ginokumisanana. So when you go and Antakut Nikanaga, with Yagawita Magiton and Magaginoga Pamaya. So we are Kinogit no Maganinaga getting much out. Kiwino Penamonotongeto. Manumagi, we not to be been taken out to which in Nago. Without which chicken. Keget, Hayagi Semanitu, Kinontagonan. Mega say a penamontonget, the Vicky is Kinokumenan. So when I wake is Kimisomisanan. Misegi again to an Ametagos we don't see Gabi and Kiwet, no, no, up and no so sour. Making on Tagonanas Kisemane to get him Aginagonan. And the Sagagi to Sim Gagiton. Kakinomagata sing it meto and Utra Penamonotam. Quite Martin. Getting everything it's in and we go casket on and snap him one. With a cigar, can I swing on you? Kayu tap in a mind though, where we get to anywhere. Que we know who don't one seminaton, get no magagia basse guatama, Gimamarana king. So when get we quack on a cannot tongue it to, then go marches magazong gabayot, Gimamarana king. We know us to big up me to at this Singagani begangita Thiminoma. Que get the Nagisamane to Manunta Sinam, Wagakinago, I was again. Tawagiti magination semanito, kakinaw magayat, kinawagiti magito, kenin, kiti magitation, manogiti magination. Bigway check it on semanito, where cabina kamik. Cabita sanso at any gun cabin, now was smejanese effect, Tenago equal theg, minop mats and agimi coming. Bigway chain of semanito. Now I say manga bacha, chantastic, now sharp penny monotonget pasema. Ega no nagit kisamane to chinunta in begene is kinamaguan. The saying I get wega kinoge gumaga is chigek. Manu, what sukana gumagi no chibantamangito, kigabit samananek. I was in it, he go with chigonanek. Nangagi chinamangito has sukana kinaga pamia. Doesn't it get me what Samanito is entayan. Me what to get me what, thank you. So, an interpretation of a little bit of what I prayed for was that what's going to be happening here, we depend on Creator. We put everything in Creator's hands. And then we ask the grandmothers, grandfathers, our ancestors, the animals that we depend on, and also the powerful women that are here. Pray for all of them because they're the water carriers. Without them, we wouldn't be here. And we pray for the water, we pray for Mother Earth. And things will go in the right way because we all depend on Creator. He's the one who put us here. So that's all I'm going to share with you. The rest is good. And then you want to say something? Okay, Harriet's being shy. But I love Harriet. She travels from Vancouver by herself by vehicle, and I worry so much about her when she travels because there's so much murdered and missing women, but she knows in her heart that Creator takes care of her. Even for myself, if I travel alone, as long as I see Grandmother Moon, I feel safe. And we're all safe in that way. And she always posts on Facebook where she's at, so to ease everybody's mind. So she just got here yesterday. She's been traveling from Vancouver, and she's going to support our event that were happening at Manitowabi. And we've been fighting Manitowabi for, I don't know, too long for them to recognize us for who we are, but it's finally going to happen tomorrow. So, miigwech.
Okay, I'll say a few words. She tricked me again. Anyway, Mekanak Ndishinikas, Atek Dotem. What I said was my spiritual name is Mekanak, meaning turtle, and my caribou is my clan. Anishinaabe from Saging. Lived in Vancouver for 33 years. I guess that's where I'll end my day. No, no, my roots are in Saging. That's why I come home every summer for 3 months. I'm a residential school survivor, 13 years. And what has saved me are the ceremonies. My son danced for a bit, and I'm still dancing. I'm 81. I jingle dance, and I really believe in the healing of that dress. Some person asked me once why I don't smile while I'm dancing. I said, I'm praying. I'm praying for the elders, the ones that can't dance and the ones that are here, that are sitting and watching in their chairs or whatever. I pray for them and glad that they're there. I know they're praying too, our elders. Yeah, we have to listen to elders. We're not going to be here much longer. I'm 81 and I don't know how long I'm going to be on this plane. I just lost a brother January. That's why my hair is short now. I cut it. I sure miss my braids, but they'll grow. Anyway, I just happy to be here. See all these brown faces, a few white faces, no. But we're all family. Miigwech, Margaret. Miigwech. It was a pleasure to meet you too, and taking me to the airport last time I was here to Miigwech. Anyway, I love you all. Have a good weekend. Miigwech.
Thank you so much. You know, it's good to see you again. It's good to see you again. You know, you remind me, my mom is same age as you. Yeah. And she drives around too all the time. That's right. But I want to ask, and I gave you some tobacco, that this time when you're dancing this time, you remember Can and all of our members. And we ask for healing. And we've gone through some change over the years. And we need to heal. Thank you.
So after this, we also have Renee Mashing, who's going to also do a bonding ceremony with ViiV, I think, this afternoon. Maggie. And so we're going to ask Sharp to also do an honor song, and if he could stand for that, to witness this special ceremony of faith and trust and support in the work that we do. And this is how we do it, right? We do it through ceremony, through the help of our knowledge keepers, our elders, and through our medicines, and also the ones that have the gift to call in spirits. And Sharp will do that through the drum and through her singing. Good.
Am I singing the right song?
Thank you for that song. And as Gail was talking about, Manitowoc powwow begins tomorrow night, and any of you who are in Winnipeg are welcome to come to witness, as Harriet talked about, the residential school survivors, the 60s scoop survivors, as well as the families of the murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls of Two-Spirit people are going to be bringing in the Eagle staffs tomorrow at 7:00 p.m. And who remembers what Manitowoc means? Oh, yeah, where the spirit exists. You're right on. And that's what that powwow is. And this morning we heard Lita Fontaine talk about how in 1992 she was remembering her brother who had passed from AIDS. Was that when she danced, that was her prayer up to him. And so that's what we will be doing Friday night. So you're all welcome to come in your finest, your feathers, and do that prayer through your dance. There is an honoring as well after the grand entry of Two-Spirit people, Gail and Pitanakut. Pitanakut was here on the first day, but had to go back to the home because Pitanakut is 60, but has lived with HIV for over 20 years on antiretroviral drugs, and that takes a toll, right? It is not optimal treatment. Pitanakut served on CATIE, on the Indigenous Advisory Group, for a number of years, and she will be honored tomorrow night as well for her work as advocate around HIV. And she's lost, I don't know how many husbands she's had, and she's still looking. But anyway, I said, no more weddings, no more marriages, stay off the internet. But she keeps messaging me, so I'll go get her tomorrow and bring her there. And as Gail said, it is the first time that Manitowoc, probably in 15 years, has had a special for Two-Spirit people. And it is through our persistent advocacy to say, when you say community, it means everybody. So we have some gifts that Margaret will talk about with our representative here, Lori, and then Lori will have a chance to give her response and that $10,000 check.
Okay.
So these are things I want to share with Lori. Sorry. This is a product here from Manitoba of a family member who lost her sister about 8 years ago. So I want you to have that. And the most fabulous pair of gay earrings I've ever seen. And there's actually two of them. There's two of them.
Oh, thank you, Albert. Oh. When I first became the CEO for CAN, December 1st of 2019, one of the first things I did was I called around to some of the national leaders of CAS, CATIE, Legal Network, other provincial groups, I called their executive directors and their CEOs. And I said, I'm here. I need help. And you were so wonderful. I had a chance to speak with Lori personally and talk to her about the challenges that CAN would go through and continue to go through as we move towards a place of newness. And then COVID hit. And again, we're going through change. But she was so gracious in helping me to understand a national organization. And how Katie was so instrumental in knowledge keeping across this land. And that we would, and I talked to her about, as Indigenous people, we knowledge keep and have been since the beginning of time on this land. That was something that was important to me at CAN, that we would continue to knowledge keep and that we would work together in how this looked on this land. And you helped me to understand the national picture, working with the government, working with other national groups. And I've known you for many years, and I think the first time I met Lori, I called her Katie. And I'm sure many of you have done that. and I was so thankful to have her on side. And I talked to them about doing ceremony, because that's what I know best. I know the way forward for Indigenous people is to do ceremony. And I lifted the pipes that December 21, the solstice. And I asked for our national partners. I asked for help for us to have partnerships together and to work together on this land to bring Humassawan life to the people and how that would look. And today, all those national leaders are gone, and you're leaving us too. And I'm not sure what's happening. But I just realized that this week that, one of the things we want to do with Lori today is to, she's retiring. And I've had conversations with her too in that regard, that retirement and how it looks in your life, in the work that you've given, the life that you've given to the work and to the people. Because you really give your life to the people when you do this work. It's a commitment that we make. And I always use the word humanitarian. It's the human in us that loves other humans. And we want to make things happen in good ways. And I've seen you do that over the years. You've attended every event that CAN has ever hosted, I believe. I've seen her in many places where CAN has been. So I want to thank you for that. And, as you leave, Katie, you leave a legacy of hope. And that is, we move forward and continue to do the work that we're doing with Katie. We've got some new people here too, our community readiness coordinator and our promising practices coordinator, some of our knowledge bundles that are taking place and going to be coming, some of our new projects with harm reduction, and those are going to become part of our knowledge sharing. And we have so much work to do together on this land with Katie, CAN and Katie. And this partnership that we're doing today will establish that forevermore, that we would continue to do this work even after I'm gone, whenever I retire. I don't know when that would be. I was telling my family that I'll do this work as long as I can. And then when I leave, I'm just going to go off into the bush, and I don't want no one to follow me. But I love you, Lori. I appreciate everything you've done. I've watched you over the years. I've listened to you. I've heard you. I feel you. And I just want to leave that with you as you go. The gifts I have for you are medicine. I was so thrilled today when the woman came and gifted me medicine. Medicine has been a big part of my healing in my life. And I want to give you a medicine bundle for your own self. And that is our Indigenous ways of knowing and doing as we move forward and establish our ways. This is medicine, and it's good medicine to you.
My turn? Okay, my turn. When Margaret says that she's seen me in many places, I think she was politely saying I'd get around. And just to provide some reassurance to everyone, when Margaret, one of our more recent conversations, when I told Margaret that I was planning on retiring soon, she said that she had no plans to retire and would be around for a long time. So just to reassure people. I did want to give Albert a gift of tobacco. As people know, Albert's been around for a long time and around. But also Albert was on the first advisory committee to establish our Indigenous Advisory Committee, which is an official committee of CATIE's board. And there's been changes over the year, but because I am retiring, I'm trying to get rid of a lot of the paper in my office. And so I'm coming across things from before my time and with your name on it. And I'd also like to acknowledge Albert, because more than 20 years ago, he wrote an article in our Positive Side magazine for people living with HIV on the medicine wheel. And it's a good article. It's still just as current as it was. So thank you so much. And by the way, great shirt. So yes, Margaret and I have known each other for a long time. And one of my earliest memories of Margaret is when we had a conference in Calgary. CATIE was partnering with different organizations across the country to do conferences, and this was sort of for the Western provinces. And at the very end of the conference, we had a sharing circle and had a stick that was passed around, so everyone had an opportunity to say something. And what I remember about Margaret is that she cried and cried and cried. But what she was talking about was how much gratitude she had and how appreciative she was of the early leaders in the HIV movement, which were dominantly gay men. And you were really expressing appreciation to those, gay men who, many of whom are no longer with us. So we've shared tears over the years. When I was thinking about what I wanted to gift Margaret, I had a really hard time figuring it out, and I talked to different people to get some direction, and I wanted it to be something of mine. I didn't want it to be something that I bought or purchased. I wanted it to be something of mine that was very meaningful to me, and something that was that represented a loss for me, meaning it was something that it was something precious to me that I was giving, and that would be have more meaning. So what I eventually settled on was, I think, the perfect gift. My sister-in-law is a First Nations woman from Onega. I can never remember how to say it. Onega, I'm forgetting the next name, not the, on the Thames. Onega, Trevor, can you help me? Onega, and then there's another word, on the Thames. Yeah, sorry. And when my brother died, just shortly over a year ago, her husband, she gave me a present, a gift, and this is what she gave me, which I think speaks to her talent. It speaks to her love for me and for my brother, and also speaks to her heritage as a First Nations woman, and it feels good in your hand too. So there you are. It warms my heart to know that you're going to have that, and you're going to have that at least until you retire. And if you're going off into the woods, so you can take it with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie and Margaret. And we're going to do the blanketing now, and that is a tradition in our community. And it is a reminder of a time when hides were precious gifts of survival. And the blanket we have now is fabric, but in the old days it would be a bison hide, which is tanned inside, so it's supple, soft to the skin. On the outside is the fur that will keep you warm in the harsh prairie winter. And as we know, the bison were almost exterminated in this territory in Saskatchewan, in northern United States. So that is that history of this blanketing and of this robe you see in front of you. And that, you know, maybe in the future, we will be able to blanket people with bison robes in their return. And there are people working to do that, to bring them back. And as we say, you know, that is that genocide, that colonial genocide. It was the murder of our relatives, the bison. And we are still traumatized from that history. So just remember that. And I asked Roger Roulette, my mentor, I said, why in all of these old photos of Indigenous people, you can do the blanket now? Are they standing with their blankets wrapped so elegantly around them? Lines, colors, geometric designs. Why are they holding them like that in the photos? He said, other than the beauty, he said when people would visit each other in different communities, they would put the blanket down on the ground so they could sit with their family and visit on those blankets. That's why they carry them with them. Each one has a blanket, so they can do that when they meet their family. They can put that blanket on the ground and sit and visit with each other. That's not in any book. That only comes from asking and from the oral traditions of our knowledge keepers, right? And we all have the capacity, ability, and to do that in our work, everyone in this room. Because I know you're watching us. In 10 years, many of you will be up here doing this, right? So just remember that, right? So thank you, and we're going to shift gears now. So have a good life, and so Renee, do you want to come up with Maggie and your crew? Yeah, Margaret, you stay here. So. Yeah. So when we were talking about Harriet Prince, who is a dancer, and as I mentioned, tomorrow there will be the residential school survivors who will come in that first round. And in the first round, when the powwow begins, you will see the traditional dancers, the men, the hunters, the warriors, the gatherers. And behind them will be the traditional women And they are not separate, that couple, the man and the woman, because they each have a role. And they are wearing the hides of those animals, the elk, the deer, the bison, the caribou. And they're all decorated with beadwork, with quill work, with eagle feathers. And I learned at the powwow why they are wearing eagle feathers, because their gift is to carry the eagle feather, to remind us of that relationship with the natural world, the spiritual world. And some of us in this room are going to be sun dancing in early June. And that is the continuing of this event, right? What we're doing now, talking, sharing our knowledge with each other, they're going to go to that ceremony and they're going to sacrifice to continue this work, to receive that healing from that tree. And so in that ceremony, it is believed the eagle will come from that world and receive our tobacco. So those of us who carry those eagle feathers, we carry them for the whole community. And there are times when we are asked to bring them out, to show them to the people that we are still connected. We are still faithful to that tradition, to that belief of that connection to that spiritual world. And so when you are at that powwow and at those ceremonies, that is what those people are doing. They are showing you those feathers and reminding us of that relationship. So it's just not dancing. It's also a deeper understanding of what you're witnessing, right? And they are gifted to carry those feathers. Not everybody carries those feathers. Not everybody dances, not everybody sings. That's their destiny, right? So I'm going to pass the mic to, who's the boss here? Renee? Maggie? Oh, sorry. Maggie, boss.
Pass it on over to
Thank you. So maybe just to help to begin to introduce, when Margaret joined us as our CEO, one of the things that she said to us as a staff, to me as one of the directors, and to all of us, was that ceremony is going to be the heart of CAN going forward, in a deeper commitment, in a way that she was gifted and committed to bringing forward. And so in that spirit, she's called us to be thoughtful about how we partner and how we come together and how we develop our relationships. And that's been an amazing gift and planted seeds and grounded us in relationships that are particularly new adventures. And it started me thinking about some of our older adventures and our longer term adventures, and the good ways that when we come together and commit to each other in spirit and in ceremony, and I guess this is part of the journey that you're taking me on to, Margaret, the teaching and the learning and the wonderful gift it is that you're in this position with CAN and in my life in this way. And so when we thought about our partnerships, and we've been doing work with this pharmaceutical company, the drug people, and I have a particular respect and a deep appreciation for the work that we've been able to do with ViiV Pharmaceutical. This is not a plug for a pharmaceutical company. This is a plug for the people who we get to work with in this company that has made a commitment and made an effort, in my experience and in my view, and that we've talked about as an organization, to serve the people. In the context of a partnership with CAN, I think of Lauren Fox and many phone calls and many emails and many late nights talking about how can we do better? How can we do more? How can we create a program? How can we put money and resources and support in the hands of Indigenous peoples? And that has led to incredible programs. That has led to opportunities that CAN has been part of, that CAN has been part of reviewing, that CAN has applied to, that CAN has participated in, that CAN has tried to influence. and most recently, a deep investment in partnership working together and sharing resources and experience and skills and a whole lot of human time together. So some of those people like Matthew and Lauren and Celine, who have been part of this work and have moved on to new adventures, I think of them as we think of this partnership. And I look at you, Marvelous, as a woman who I've known in this work of responding to HIV in Canada for quite a while. Somehow I have a lot more gray hair than you do. But to have made the transition from community work to working with ViiV, and to have that opportunity even more to cement a relationship that speaks to the way that we want to work for and with our people living with HIV and for Indigenous communities, and to really call up both of our organizations, our company and our organization, to serve the people with integrity, with intention, without the trappings. Right, but truly to serve the people. And I think that if we call each other into that process, then that's a really good place to be. And that's a way to honor the partnership that has begun many, many years ago, and to ground it in the ceremony so that it will grow and flourish in the ways that it's meant to, in the way that we're meant to, together and individually. And that spirit that we can give and offer and connect to your company, I think is really quite precious, and how that can grow within the work that we're doing and support the work that we're doing in all the ways, I think is a really important thing as well. So I reached out to Maggie because she's Maggie Paul. she's from our Atlantic territory and has been kind and generous and patient with me for too long and hopefully for much longer to come. And I asked Maggie to help us. And I said, it's a partnership ceremony, but that's not exactly the right word. We need you to help to bring us together. We need you to help to bond us. And so I think I can turn it over to you, Maggie, if that's okay to.
Thank you, Renee.
Maybe a momentary pause. We've definitely learned about the limitations of technology over the last 2 years.
It's like what Renee was saying, it's a different, but it's still meaningful. No matter what kind of partnership, friendship, treaty, because we're all treaty people. What we do, what we bond with each other, it's really something beautiful and meaningful. And you got to work hard at it, both on each side, on our side and on your side. We got to work hard. That's why we brought that ribbon, that wampum colors, the purple and the white. We do our side, we do our best to our ability, as always, for that peace and friendship. And that bonding, what we're doing here today, it's the same thing. It's just as powerful. So that ribbon is going to be half on our side and half on your side. We are doing our bonding, and then some of these days you're going to do for us. Same thing, and it'll be peace for all of us. Yes.
You what to do?
Yeah. That ribbon.
I'm gonna find.
Okay, where's that scissors? We need those scissors.
Uh-oh, that's somewhere in my bag.
Half and half.
You want me to put it in half?
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Tim said if you need help, just ask him.
Woo! Got it there, Renee. That way. Yes. Beautiful.
Learning slow and steady. Okay.
Yes. All right. Now, wherever you're going to be working at, always remember those colors. Those colors are our bonding. Beautiful. Right on. Ooh. And there's gifts here laid out for you. My God, on this beautiful robe. Isn't that something beautiful? I mean, even touch it. You can touch it. I shouldn't even say, you can touch it, but whomever, somebody's going to snap our hands here, whoever it belongs to.
That's the boss over there.
The boss. Holy critters. And there's gifts here laid out for you.
Medicine and some beautiful earrings for you. And a bracelet, so you can wear those in spirit of us. Yes, I will. We're gonna bring you. And I've been looking for you. And so, I should clarify. So Marvelous is our community engagement lead with ViiV. She's the person we get to call and say, I have an idea, I have a question, I think I need something. Is there another invitation for that event? And Emily is a newer friend, more recent friend to Ken and to my acquaintance. And so working with ViiV and based in Nova Scotia, which is absolutely lovely. And so we have some gifts for you as well.
So I feel so humbled. I'm a woman living with HIV from Africa. And every time when I see Indigenous people, I feel that's my community. But I've also seen as women, regardless of color, there's something that brings us together. And I've always wanted that's my passion, to see people living with HIV coming together, respecting each other, and being able to provide those services where we can. There's times when we would sit and I say, your idea, can we go back and sit and talk again? And I hope that I'll be able to carry that light that my other people who passed through this position did, and maybe even more. My door, I want to have that door that is open anytime for people to knock in and say, this is the idea that I might not be able to give everyone, but it's not all about money. It's all about love. It's all about passion. It's all about ideas, building from each other. So I'm hoping that I'll do my best. But I really appreciate the gifts, but you let us down. You didn't tell us we need to bring our gifts too.
More parties!
So we will definitely do something and strengthen our relationship. And I really, truly, my ancestors, I'm in a foreign land, but I need also the ancestors of the land to guide me in doing the work that I do. Thank you.
Thank you. Right back to you. Thank you. Margaret? Okay. We good? We're good. Thank you. And we're going to look forward to the next party. We're just extending this so that you can host us.
And everyone can hold up the trumpet. They'll all be invited as well. Yeah.
Maggie's going to sing a song, and Jeremy's going to help.
I guess she did. Don't gotta tell her twice.
When we sing faster, we are singing for the little people that are on. We call them Kioladmo Sizag. And Mi'kmaq has a name for them too. They call them Bugalamuj. And I don't know what Irish people call them what? What is it? Kelfie. And I don't know what names of everybody else who has them because they're there to look after us. And we feed them. You know what we feed them with? Pennies. We feed them, we give them pennies, and we feed them with those white and pink mints. Mints. Chicken bones, yeah. White and pink mints. They like the white and pink mints. They do. Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. That was beautiful. Woo!
So we're going to start the closing now. And you've been an excellent audience. Man, you guys are wild. You just took it all in. Just great. And there's a baby. Tim's got the baby. Bring the baby up. This is the baby of Margaret's baby, actually. Margaret and Gilead. So I don't know if any of these pharmaceuticals know about condoms or any of that stuff, but anyway, the babies are popping everywhere. And I want to say, you know, for this is a week-long event because there's people staying on until Sunday. And people came on Sunday out here to begin this work. And it's going to continue after today and into Saturday. And some people went to see the play, The Red Sisters, last night, and it's here to the 28th. And that is from Thompson Highway, who is in that video you saw from 30 years ago. He was our keynote speaker because he lost his brother to AIDS, Renee Highway. And so when we began this work, we smudged, and that was the purification we all went through to welcome the spirits to sit with us, to see us, to listen to us, and to help us if they can. So we've been in ceremony for 2 days, and for some, it's been tense, a lot of information, a lot of energy, a lot of emotions, and now we're coming out of that. So as we slowly return back to the 21st century, May of 2022, we are going to, you know, thank those spirits that were with us in these days. And when we set our intention, you know, some of those spirits manifested into reality. There was a pregnant woman here, Doris's granddaughter, who is soon to have a girl. She was with us the first days. And this afternoon, a baby about 7 months came with his parents. And I held him. He was much more heavy. He was like a 10-pound sack of potatoes. And Eddie Jr. And he's part of my family, you know, my adopted family. And there's 3 of them. There's Flower, who's I think 5. There's Dream Weaver, who I think is 3. And now we have Eddie Jr. And that's the Can family. That's our family, right? Because they know where to come when they need support. And so I held Eddie Jr. Right there this afternoon. And that's what we're talking about with our beliefs, our spirits, that they will come if we believe, if we have faith, and they will spend time with us. And when Sharp was singing that song, it became really clear to me that the spirits were here, whether it was a video, a memory, a name of someone who we know who passed or who's not here. I felt through that song that they were telling us they were here, they heard, they saw, but now they were going. And that is how things are. We are end of this part of this week, right? We are closing that. And as we come back out of this ceremony, we prepare for tonight to come back to that world of reality of the 21st century. And we have those gifted people who will bring us back, the singers, the dancers, who will know where we were, but also realize that we are coming back. And that is the gala tonight. So I hope you have all your rhinestones and whatever to shine. And that's what our Sundance leader says, you know, when we go to ceremony, we wear our best, you know, because we want to show the spirits that we appreciate this gift of life. That blood that goes through our veins, the heart that beats, our temperature of 98.6, that tells us that we are alive, we have energy, we are animate, we are on fire, right? And so we want to show them, no matter how hard it is, that we still appreciate that life that waking up in the morning. And we'll do it again and again and again. And that's why we wear our best when we do ceremony. So, in this closing, we're going to thank their spirits and we're going to let them go because this is no longer their world. It's a short visit. But again, we thank them and we let them go back to wherever they came from. So, miigwech. Thank you, everybody.
We have a raffle. So where's the tickets? Where's the Willow Warriors? Got the tickets? If you didn't get a ticket, get one from. Okay, we'll cheat. We have some draws before we let you go. Where is the gifts? There's a box of gifts that. Oh, right, yeah, there's the box over there. Yeah. Yeah, you guys go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, you guys both. We'll get the Willow Warriors get moving. First, we'll make sure that everybody has their tickets ready. Yeah, you guys got your tickets. If you don't have a ticket, raise your hand. Yeah, someone give. Yep. Yeah, ticket at the front. The Willows are getting their tickets ready first before they're going to do the draw. So Manitoba Harm Reduction Task Force gave us some T-shirts. Okay, so everyone got tickets? Are you ready to go? Oh, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Shake them up, shake them up. Got to shake the whole body too. Here's some music. Okay, well, let's get a ticket and we'll see who's the winner of this. So who's runner? So we're looking at ticket number 645. 645. 645. Okay, let's get another one. Thank you. That one is 650. 650. 650. Only Sharp could get away with that. 650. Okay, this one is 659. 659. Well, they're losers. Okay. Oh my, I don't even know if I want to say this one. 666. Oh, back here. There you go. Take. Woohoo! All right. Here we go. And this will be for this one. 606. 606. 606. 606. No. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh. 653. 653. 649. 649. 649. That's a lucky one. Oh, I guess not that lucky. Go ahead. 658. There we go. That one. All right. This one is 652. 652. 652. 686. 686. 686. 686. Nope. All right. 661. 661. Oh, all the smokers. Either that or they got lucky at lunch. All right. 623. 623 over here. All right. This is the can bunny hug. This is the big one. All right. 656. 656. Oh, over here. There we go. All right. Oh, that's that. She never wins anything. She wants something. So where's Gail? I was going to auction her off next. Oh. Where's her coat? All right. That's it for today. And we'll see you back here tonight. At 6 o'clock, we're starting. So wear your finest and come see Winnipeg's finest.